Tonight, under arrest, the head of the International Monetary Fund is charged with sexual assault in New York, throwing financial rescue talks into disarray. I'm Russ Mitchell. Also tonight, in the flood zone, as Army engineers open more Mississippi spillway gates, thousands of people across Cajun country prepare for the worst. Help wanted. Facing a shortage of skilled workers, hospitals try a new approach, training their own employees for better jobs. And words and pictures. How one innovative artist is transforming old books into unique sculptures.
This is the CBS Evening News with Russ Mitchell.
And good evening. We begin tonight with a major shock in the financial world. The head of the International Monetary Fund, who is one of the most powerful men in world banking, stands accused this evening of sexually assaulting a woman in a New York City hotel. Michelle Miller has more on the arrest and tells us what this could mean for the business of the IMF.
For almost 4 years, Dominique Strauss-Kahn has run the International Monetary Fund, which is grappling with Europe's debt crisis. Now the 62-year-old French politician has a crisis of his own, accused of attempted rape inside an upscale Manhattan hotel. A 32-year-old maid told police she was sexually assaulted Saturday afternoon by Strauss-Kahn inside his $3,000 a night suite on the 28th floor. She had gone in to clean what she thought was an empty room. But according to police, Strauss-Kahn was inside a bathroom in a Sofitel suite. He allegedly walked out naked, locked the suite door, and forced the maid onto the bed. She told police he then tried to take her clothes off. And when she resisted, he allegedly dragged her into the bathroom and forced her to perform a sex act. 3 hours later at Kennedy International Airport, police arrested Strauss-Kahn as he was seated in first class, just 10 minutes before his Air France flight to Paris was scheduled to take off. Charged with a criminal sex act, attempted rape, and unlawful imprisonment, Strauss-Kahn denied all charges. Strauss-Kahn played a key role in efforts to stem the European debt crisis, forming aid packages for Greece and Ireland. He was supposed to attend a meeting with German Chancellor Merkel in Berlin Sunday and with European finance ministers in Brussels on Monday. The IMF said in a written statement that it remains fully functioning and operational. The fund named John Lipsky its #2 official as acting managing director. The twice divorced but currently married Strauss-Kahn admitted an affair with a subordinate 3 years ago, but kept his job. A former French economic minister and member of France's opposition Socialist Party, he is expected to run for president of France next year. On the streets of Paris, reactions were mixed. Let's wait for proof, this man said. He can do things for France. It doesn't surprise me, said this woman. It's a shame that he wasn't more careful, and a political future is now on hold. Michelle Miller, CBS News, New York.
Turning next to the Great Mississippi Flood, Army engineers today opened more floodgates at the Morganza Spillway, that's upriver from New Orleans, bringing the total to 4. They're diverting millions of gallons a minute into the Atchafalaya Basin, sparing New Orleans while flooding thousands of square miles of Cajun country. Dean Reynolds is in Henderson, Louisiana tonight. Dean, good evening.
Good evening, Russ. It's the moment of truth for a lot of folks who live around here. Officials say it's time to go, but for the people, it's not that simple.
In Butte-LaRose, Randy Moncrief had one eye on the grill and the other on the water, lapping at his dad's home.
Just everybody's gone. It's going to be like a ghost down here in the next day or two.
Yeah. Moncrief, a retired tugboat operator, expects the second floor of the home to stay dry, but that's all. Down the street, at a cabin named The Last Dance, Pierre Watermeyer wrapped it in plastic, ringed it with sand, and hoped for the best.
I'm really hoping that it's going to prevent it from being ruined.
Butte-LaRose is one of the scattered Cajun communities in the Atchafalaya River Basin, an area of farm fields, fishing camps, and free spirits, where water from the Morganza Spillway is now running, diverted from the Mississippi. The diversion is supposed to lessen river pressure at the Baton Rouge and New Orleans floodwalls. Unfortunately, to make that happen, communities like Butte-LaRose may go under. 4 gates are now open at the spillway, just one releases nearly 75,000 gallons per second, 4.5 million gallons a minute, a rate that would fill an Olympic pool in 9 seconds. Downstream, St. Landry Parish issued a mandatory evacuation order. Everyone out by this afternoon.
We're anticipating seeing some water in this area at about 9 p.m. this evening. We're going to see water start coming through the woods.
In Butte La Rose, Randy Moncrief says they can issue all the evacuation orders they want. He's spent months remodeling this home, and he has no intention of leaving it.
Really? I'm not leaving.
You're not going to leave?
No.
But he's keeping a boat handy just in case.
The water will be rising for weeks, and to see by how much, in just a few days, this house here will be submerged. Russ?
Dean, after hearing that gentleman in your piece, I wonder, are there a lot of folks there who are refusing to evacuate?
Well, they're refusing for two reasons, basically. One is emotional, that they really don't want to leave their homes, and the second is that they are skeptical, highly skeptical, of the estimates being put out by the Army Corps. Russ?
Dean Reynolds in Henderson, Louisiana. Thanks a lot. In the nation's capital, the debate over the debt ceiling is about to get even more intense. The government projected earlier this month that the $14.3 trillion debt limit will be reached tomorrow. Whit Johnson has the latest from Washington.
With the nation's debt ceiling within reach, the debate over how to raise it is suddenly more urgent.
I'm ready to cut the deal today. We don't have to wait until the 11th hour. But I am not going to walk away from this moment. We have a moment, a window of opportunity to act.
In an interview with CBS's Face the Nation, House Speaker John Boehner reiterated the debt ceiling he wants must come with significant spending cuts. It's an area where Democrats may be willing to give if they can raise taxes on the wealthy.
Well, I think we do have to cut spending, but we also have to take a look at revenue and the entitlement programs
like Medicare and Social Security. And so the countdown begins. Although the nation's $14.3 trillion debt ceiling will be hit tomorrow, the Treasury Department says it can extend the deadline to early August using creative accounting. But after that, unless the ceiling is raised, the United States of America would default on its debt for the first time ever. Few disagree on the outcome.
If we play games with it or play politics with it and default on our national debt, we could plunge this country back into a recession with even deeper unemployment.
The U.S. government spends $125 billion more than it takes in each month. Long-term deficit reduction has driven the debt ceiling debate, but Democrats and Republicans remain far apart on how to do it.
I've put a plan on the table that takes $4 trillion out of our deficit and debt. The question is, are we going to have some compromise?
It makes me think that he's really not serious about tackling the big problems that face our country.
You don't think he's serious about deficit reduction?
He's talking about it, but I'm not seeing real action yet.
Vice President Joe Biden is spearheading negotiations between lawmakers and the White House. Both sides do eventually expect to get a deal, but as history tells us, it might not happen until the last possible second. Russ?
Whit Johnson at the White House. Thanks, Whit. Although unemployment remains high at 9%, hospitals created more than 10,000 jobs last month. And in one city, they're trying to fill professional vacancies by training up from within. Seth Doan has the latest in our series, Help Wanted, Getting America Back to Work.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Hello.
I'm Kelly.
It's already been quite a journey to land this job as a medical technician in Boston. Kelly Ann Matthias D'Souza grew up in the Caribbean island of Trinidad and never went to college. Now she's ready to make her biggest career leap yet.
This is my passion. This is a goal that I've had for a long time growing up. I can't see myself in any other field but being a registered nurse.
Good thing her goals fall in line with her employers. Boston's Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is one of 3 hospitals in the city testing a program to help lower-level workers earn a degree and qualify for a better job, all free of charge.
There are so many great hospitals here, but we're often fighting over the same skilled workforce. So we've decided, let's start investing in our workforce and kind of enlarge the pie instead of fighting over the same people all the time.
It's quite a fight. Boston has 33 hospitals, and nearly 20% of all jobs in the city are in healthcare. Right now, there are nearly 6,500 job openings in the healthcare industry. So these hospitals are starting to build their workforce from within.
Sometimes I work like 60 hours a week, and I still have to make time to study.
Matthias D'Souza figures she spends at least 10 more hours studying each week toward her bachelor's degree in nursing.
I'm not going to say it's easy juggling school, work, having a teenage daughter, and just being a wife. It's a lot of work.
But she's in good company.
Wow, he has a lot of cells.
Dominic Tabazuing used to serve food in the hospital cafeteria. Now he makes 50% more money as a lab tech. So far, more than 1,200 employees at the 3 hospitals have enrolled in career counseling and college-level courses, all funded by a local nonprofit.
For me, it was just a great opportunity that I didn't want to miss out on.
Even if it means missing a little sleep and some family time too. It's 4 years of studying, but she's determined to get that degree.
Well, good luck in your procedure.
Seth Doan, CBS News, New York.
Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, Libya's rebels, a view of life on the front lines, and sacrifice at home. At least 15 people were killed along Israel's borders today. Clashes broke out at 4 separate borders, or crossing points. Israel says its troops were forced to open fire on stone-throwing crowds of mostly Palestinians trying to enter the Jewish state. The protesters were marking what they call the catastrophe, the 1948 creation of the State of Israel. In the battle for Libya, rebels today said they are in full control of the western port city of Misrata. They say there are no plans for now to advance on the capital of Tripoli. Meanwhile, as Mandy Clark tells us, rebels in the stronghold of Benghazi are measuring the cost of war.
This was the scene on Libya's eastern front near the town of Brega this week, as rebels continue to take on Gaddafi's better trained and better armed forces. When the fighting died down, we found one rebel who told us his story. Ayman Faraj al-Barde was a businessman until recently. Now he's on the front line. We had visited Ayman at his home a week ago in the rebel stronghold of Benghazi and got an up-close look at the impact of this war on the home front. His mother made tea, and his wife, who's 4 months pregnant, didn't try to hide her fears. It's a terrible feeling, and I am afraid all the time, but he has to go fight, she says. Nearly every family here has someone at the front. Ayman's brother, who's a biologist, had a close call in the early days of the protests in Benghazi. This X-ray shows where a bullet fired by Gaddafi's forces lodged in his face.
Entrance from here, then broken my teeth, then come up under the eye here.
Despite that experience, he insisted the whole family supported Ayman's decision to fight.
No problem. If he dying for freedom, this is a good thing.
That's pretty much what Ayman had to say as well. Since the first drop of blood, every doctor, every lawyer, musician, artist has gone to defend our country because Muammar Gaddafi is trying to shut us up, he says. Ayman and the other volunteers in his unit are still on the front line tonight, hoping to finish this fight soon and get back to the lives this revolution has put on hold. Mandy Clark, CBS News, Benghazi.
Just ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, Whiz Kids, why making science cool could be the formula for keeping America great. When asked, most American youngsters will likely tell you they want to be an athlete, singer, or movie star when they grow up. President Obama says we've got to change all that, saying the future success of the nation depends on it. Well, this week in Los Angeles, Ben Tracy met a few of the Whiz Kids he's counting on.
I can get her to track that blue ball in any 3D environment.
At the largest science fair in the world, there's no limit to the imagination. Whether it's this virtual reality computer system,
The Kinect sensor is actually picking up all 10 of my fingers,
or a drum set built right into a pair of pants. 16-year-old Marion Bechtel from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, created this acoustic device to detect landmines.
A lot of people say it sounds like a lightsaber.
Right, it does. Yeah, it's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Austin Duff of Montgomery County, Maryland, has an idea with more legs.
I'm applying what the human mind does to allow robotics to advance further than it already is.
How old are you?
I am 17 and I'm a senior in high school.
But there's growing concern that the United States is not producing enough Austins and Marions. Among 34 industrialized nations, American 15-year-olds currently rank 17th in science and a dismal 25th in math. That's why tech companies such as Intel, which sponsors the fair, are trying to get more young people interested in math and science.
This is our future. If we don't have this talent coming out that pipeline, we can't survive.
Educators say part of the problem is the way we teach students. So there's now a push for public schools to devote more time to science and math.
-8p and 72.
At the Mendez Learning Center, a new high school in Los Angeles, many students spend 3 hours each day on science and math.
A times C is?
Freshman Karine Escalera was struggling before she came here.
I was like straight F student in math. Now I have a C and a B. I'm going up, and that's awesome.
President Obama's goal is to train 100,000 math and science teachers by 2015.
We want to start making science cool.
Marian Bechtel would love for science to be as cool as sports.
No, science isn't just for incredible geniuses, it's for everyday people.
I have something for you.
And getting more young people into it is now the equation our country is trying to solve. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Los Angeles.
NASA says the shuttle Endeavour is ready for its final mission. Liftoff is set for tomorrow morning. An electrical problem forced last month's launch to be scrubbed. Wounded Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords is in Florida to watch. Her husband, Mark Kelly, is Endeavour's commander. Coming up on tonight's CBS Evening News, an artist who looks at old books in a whole new way. Finally this evening, in these digital times, many people wonder whether the printed book still has a future. As Mark Strassman tells us, one Atlanta-based artist is proving that the answer is yes, with a cutting-edge technique that speaks volumes.
Brian Detmer alters the way we see books, literally. He slices, whittles, tears into them, bending and molding forgotten pages into memorable works of art.
It's really like reading in a way. I don't know what's coming on the next page.
In his Atlanta studio, this 36-year-old artist keeps carving, looking for blocks of words and images to highlight. After a week or two, what's left is an original, three-dimensional interpretation.
You can kind of take that text and isolate it.
Detmer started out as a painter, but 10 years ago he moved to books, seeing hardcovers as his new blank canvas.
I like to suggest the idea that information is being lost. I think that right now in time we're at a really pivotal moment with our relationship to books.
He uses only vintage nonfiction, old encyclopedias, history books, medical texts, books otherwise headed for the dumpster. But he knows in his work some book lovers see only mutilated texts.
Nobody wants to throw this away, but nobody really knows what to do with some of the more outdated books. The timelessness of the material is something that I like to kind of exploit in a way, I guess.
And they've become high-priced fixtures. The average piece sells for $4,000. On the upper end, $20,000. Detmer has held exhibits in Europe, Asia, Chicago, New York, and recently here at the Saltworks Gallery in Atlanta.
I like the idea of creating this sculpture that could be seen 360.
When you read a book, you typically start on page 1 at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Is there a beginning here? Do you care where people start?
Not at all.
Brian Holcomb is the curator at Saltworks. He says it's the sculpture's originality that attracts fans.
Every single time I see a new body of work, it feels completely fresh and dynamic.
Nothing predictable?
No.
I might find something 10 pages down that works.
It's that unpredictability Detmer enjoys, and a message he hopes resonates.
It's survival of the fittest, and we have... books will always have their place, and I don't think that books will ever be dead.
An artist with a mission, sculpting a new chapter for a vanishing form of art. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
And that is the CBS Evening News. Later on CBS 60 Minutes. Thanks for joining us this Sunday evening. I'm Russ Mitchell, CBS News in New York. Good night.